Hmm. Hey, welcome back. This is Rodimus here. I'm sitting here right now going over my outline for the raid of the King's Fall raid. And so, right now as it stands, I have me, Tiggle, and I believe another one of his friends that can help us in completing the raids. That way we can get some good gear and we can see the end of the actual story outline. And then we all get the trophy out of that. I'm going to be going over my general thoughts about the Taken King thus far. While the raid is a part of the Taken Kings, because that's obviously how you get it, I want to go over what it is I thought about the campaign's inclusion in the story outline. Uh, my thoughts were... I thought the ending was very good. The detail and the CGI was very beautifully done. I could see how meticulous it was for Bungie to do that. And it paid off. Uh, I like the fact that the cutscene had revealed so much about the next part in what's going to happen next, because I thought that really was the end when Oryx kind of grabbed his own sword, broke the crap out of that thing, and then like jammed it into himself in order to like cause like a dimensional rift effect or something like that. Uh, and then I remember I saw that sword in the final cutscene, and I figured that it would lead me to believe that there's something that a sword is going to play a part in the coming raid, just like how a sword played a part with his son in taking down his son with the whole Death Singer things before the Requiem started. I figured that his father's sword would do the same thing for his father. But we'll see. We still got to get that raid going, and I'll know for a fact when I see it. Uh, I like that the final battle was well paced and done in two parts. Because if they did it all in one, it wouldn't really feel as epic as it should have been. It would have been very straightforward, yes, but it wouldn't have been really that epic. Because you spent all this time promoting and hyping up a DLC that led to an anticlimactic conclusion. Please. You know how much money people pissed away and then would want to get a refund back if that was the case? And the outline was very good for the battle because it was in the two parts. The second part of the battle, though, I remember that mechanics very well because it's a recycled mechanic where suddenly he cuts you off from attacking him any further, and it's like you're in an invisible wall in the area, and then only certain things can enter into the wall or come out of the wall, and then you have to selectively wait for your target to come in past that invisible fence in order to attack him or to inflict any further damage upon him. That was recycled from, because as soon as we started battling that thing, if you remember seeing my Taken King's conclusion video, I remember strictly seeing that outline for the battle from DMC Devil May Cry, the very first battle in there on the Son of Sparta difficulty setting. It's that exact same outline. I thought you would go into that on the Nephilim difficulty with that same outline because it starts off real easy, but it only happens for like a split second. But no, because on the Son of Sparta difficulty and higher, once you get the boss into the final bars of health, just like what you did with Oryx, the same thing will happen, and it'll happen for the remainder of the battle until the target's dead, or until you're dead. Also, at the beginning of the heroic thing for the daily, same thing. I also got a chance to get a good secret boss battle out of the way that I didn't really think I'd see. Something called the Tortured Knight was his name. I know the Ultra Knight was one that me and Online had tackled once before. And then I managed to get another secret boss out of this just by good coincidence, because he had never seen a boss like that out in the field before. And so it's a good 2-for-1 opportunity, so all of us could get that. And it was the Tortured Knight. Because I know if you go to my video, still the Taken King's conclusion thing, at the 2 minute 30 margin, you can see the Tortured Knight there. He's really giving us a hard time and trying to take him out, while we're just trying to take down the majority of the enemies there. in order to get past the threshold. And I got my victory out of that, but some tortured witch or whatever came in and suddenly just killed me and then put an end to that. So much for that.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you 5% on the dollar. If I don't have my money back as soon as y'all get it, oh hell, it's gonna break loose.
I don't really think that the price of the DLC was worth as much as Bungie and Activision wanted to claim that it was. Because you have to pay $39.99, in some cases $49.99, or in my case you have to pay the fucking $59.99 in order to have the whole update and all the bells and whistles that come with this thing in order to have it. Now, while that's nice in some cases, it's really not worth it like that. And I think that this DLC's thing was just a really big waste of money. It's a huge waste of time, inconvenience in order to acquire it. If you start playing it, then that's fine. But I don't see it really being financially sound after a while, because the objective of the gameplay was just not for it to be so frustrating at first, which is why I realized that making my first initial video about Destiny, the Taken Kings, it didn't get as many views as I thought it would, because people want to try and be positive about going into this, but you don't realize that there are some people that do piss away money and are heavily inconvenienced by the fact that with the new outline that this DLC made for the video game, thanks to Activision fucking it up, is that you cannot get past the level 34 cap, and that's excruciatingly irritating for a lot of gamers out there. I mean, for those of you that do have the DLC, hey, good for you. You managed to get to the next cap and hit that next point. But there are a lot of people in the world that are financially unstable or can't get that or cannot have that just yet. And so they're out a whole new experience in the gameplay because Activision and Bungie want to make more money off of us, and they want to play to the fan base, because the only people now that are level 40s and whatnot are the hardcore, dedicated type of fan base gamers for Bungie or for the whole company. That those are like really dedicated gamers that are still playing this game, that can, I guess, support themselves or can set aside money at the right times or have enough invested in the PSN accounts where they can have enough set aside for DLCs that would just happen to come up at any given time. Me, personally, I had to go through a whole inconvenience with both time and money because I had to spend an additional $60, $70 for this dumb shit in order to even acquire it. And I owe myself so much money in order to try and make up for this. Because while the DLC was good, don't get me wrong, the Taken Kings was good, the whole Battle with Oryx was good, and I'm sure the coming raid, no matter what it may be, hard or easy, I'm sure that's good. But it was not worth $40. It was not worth $40 and $50. At best, everything we saw there, that's like an additional 2, 3, possible 4 or 5 hours of the gameplay additionally, that's like $20, $25. I wouldn't push 30 maybe, but that's as high as I would cap it. I wouldn't put it at $40 and $50. That's just bullshit. If you want to do the Legendary Collection Edition or the higher up, the Collector's Edition, which also Collector's Edition is not worth it anymore because it was just a promotional thing at that time that was worth it at that time. It is not worth it now. Legendary Collection only, maybe I would put that at $60. That would be perfect because you get all 3 DLCs plus a little knickknacks here and there that do kind of get it going there. And that's as far as I take it. Because individually, that was just no. No, 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 no. As for the coming raid, I'm very curious as to how this is going to set up on the Dreadnought. Because with the throne room we just saw in Oryx's throne room, I'm wondering how big or how long the raid is going to be. Because there's no real indications of that. And then I know we need to have a team of 6 because I'm expecting this to be a very aggressive outline in order to get to him. Excuse me. Because Krotos was just a main run through darkness in order to try and light up all the stuff and get him to come out right as we enter his room. And then Atheon was just a matter of just breaking half the vault in order to get him to come out the other side of the vault. And then you pretty much have to play footsies with time paradoxes. Footsies. We'll keep you posted and see how this will play out when the raid starts. In the meanwhile, until it does start, I'm going to turn my focus towards doing the other 2 classes. That way I can still keep a line of productivity going in my affairs as I keep going to try and get the platinum for this game. So, till all are one.